Welcome to Gunz Bunz, the podcast that celebrates strong, successful women. If you enjoy empowering stories, be sure to like and subscribe to our Gunz Rollz channel for more inspiring episodes like this one. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Gunz Bunz Podcast for behind-the-scenes content, updates, and more. Thanks for tuning in. Today on the podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome the amazing Samantha Ojeda. Am I saying that correctly?
Ojeda.
Okay.
I'm
sorry. I knew I was going to butcher that.
Sometimes people butcher it all my life. It is what it is.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, Samantha is someone who truly embodies resilience, balance, and passion in every part of her life. By day, she's a digital marketing professional, bringing creativity and strategy to everything she touches. Outside of that, she helps run a mobile bartending business with her boyfriend of 3.5 years. Talk about a power couple. She's also a powerhouse athlete, a jiu-jitsu purple belt, CrossFit athlete, weightlifter, and former college volleyball player. But what really stands out about Sam is her perseverance. She's battled through injuries, including ACL surgery. Rooted in her family values and growing up in an Air Force family, Sam carries that discipline and dedication into everything she does. She's deemed 2025 her year of patience and faith, a reminder to trust the process, stay grounded, and keep moving forward. I can't wait to dive into her story from overcoming setbacks to building strength in every area of her life. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you.
It was so weird to see Samantha. Do people call you Samantha?
Honestly, it's like very 50-50. Like growing up, it was Samantha. Like my family was always calling me Samantha. Mm-hmm. And then like with sports, people are like Sam.
Sam.
And then now that I'm older again, I'm like, wait, I like my full name.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's like at work, I just tell people my name is Samantha, but then people still choose to call me Sam.
Yeah,
so
okay. Well, I'll try and dabble in with both. I know you as Sam, but yeah, definitely. Okay, well, wonderful. I'm so glad you're here today.
I'm
Yay.
so glad to be here. I feel honored. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, for the first question today, I usually have people begin by sharing a little bit about how they've grown up. And so if you could just tell us where you grew up, how you grew up, and maybe how it shaped you today.
Mm-hmm. So I was born and raised in Miami, Florida.
Ooh.
I lived there for about 7 or 8 years. And then my mom like hated Miami, like growing up in Miami and like living there. And she didn't want to raise me in Miami because it's just not the best, especially going through your, teenage years. So she got a good job in North Carolina. She picked up, our stuff, put everything in a big box, and we flew to North Carolina. And then my family thought she was crazy because, like, what the hell do you mean? Yeah. Like, you're leaving. Like, this is your home. Miami's your home. But my mom had to do, like, what's best for her and then, like, her future and my future. And then, we moved to Miami. And then I have my little sister now who's 10. So there's a big age gap. I'm, like, second mom. But, we've just been here ever since. I started playing volleyball when I was in 7th or 8th grade. That was like my first love before jiu-jitsu and martial arts. And then played college sports a little bit after college. I feel like I've dabbled into so many different things. And if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. I've had like several part-time jobs just figuring out like my niche and, what I want to do with like my future. Yeah. But now I'm growing into like a digital marketing role. And that's what I've been like working as the past year. And I feel like there's a lot of, improvement and opportunity with like digital marketing and AI, like the world is taking over. Yeah. I'm in that industry now and I'm enjoying it. So awesome. We'll see where that takes me.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to dive into each piece there because you said so many good things. I have lots of questions. No.
In advance, I rambled.
No, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. So was your mom born and raised in Miami too?
Yeah. So she was born and raised in Miami, and so the majority of my family, if they're not in Miami, Florida, they're in Columbia, the country. So people are always like, Columbia, South Carolina. No, the country. Yeah. she was born there, raised there, and she just, again, she wasn't a Miami girl. She's,
Yeah.
you know, she didn't enjoy it. So
I know what you mean. So Kevin grew up in like Fort Lauderdale area.
Okay.
And so when I met him in college in Michigan, I was like, I want to move down there. And so we lived in Fort Lauderdale area, but like I went to Miami often. It was so awesome when I was 25.
No, right.
But when I hit 30, I was like, I don't know that I could raise kids here. So we ended up same idea, like for your future, right? You just have to do what works.
And it's just so expensive. Like I feel like if I were to move back to Florida, it would probably be like when I'm retired.
Yeah.
you know,
when
like
I'm older. Yes.
I just don't necessarily want to live like in Florida. But yeah, she was born and raised there, and now we're here in the Carolinas.
Awesome. And you just have that one sister?
So I have my little half sister Lexi. Like her and I are yin and yang. She's like the complete opposite of me. I'm the athletic one. She's like the artsy one. So my mom definitely gets like the best of both worlds with the both of us.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. Good. So, okay, fast forward to college. Okay. So where did you end up going to college?
Yeah, so I went to Coker University. Well, it was Coker College when I went, and then they changed it to Coker University. I went to college there, which is like in Hartsville, South Carolina. It was a small Division II school, private school. And I remember like I was working really hard throughout school to essentially play volleyball in college. So I was like, you know, I need to, you know, go full force with this and put all my energy in it. And I feel like that's where like my determination came, honestly, just playing sports in college and just, you know, being so dedicated and motivated. Like I feel like at such a young age and having just that constant pressure of trying to be like the best version of myself to get into college. So that was like the best choice, you know, to move forward into college, and went to Coker College. I went for 2.5 years. Okay. And then like I have a love-hate relationship with volleyball because it was such a big part of my life for so many years, and I'm grateful because it's shaped me to be the person I am today, honestly. But like going into college, I loved it. And then as I, you know, was going through the motions of college, I was like, okay, there's more to life than volleyball. Yeah. Like I have always just been known as kind of like the girl that's good at volleyball, the volleyball girl, you know? And I kind of had this like self-identity crisis, like, oh my gosh, like what's after volleyball? You know, I don't love it as much as I used to. And then I remember telling my mom, it was my junior year. I was, you know, about to, you know, play college sports again, 3rd season. And then I just was starting to lose my love for volleyball. And I remember calling my mom like, hey, I don't know if I want to do this like anymore. And, you know, you're on a college volleyball scholarship. So it's like you stick it out or you stay in school, quit volleyball, and then essentially lose your scholarship, you know? So it was a very tough decision. But what I've learned about myself is like, I can't like half-ass anything. Yeah. You know, if I'm going to, if I'm going to do something, like I'm going to do it 100%. So my parents were extremely supportive. They're like, okay, Samantha, well, it looks like you're going to have to come home and then start working. And that's exactly what I did. Like I got home, I started working, you know, childcare, fitness, like that's been a big portion of my life. And yeah.
Do you think, and maybe you said this, do you think because of the pressure of volleyball plus school, all of that is kind of what made you come to that decision? Like maybe this isn't for me, or you just think maybe you fell out of love with the game? Like,
honestly, I think I fell out of love with the game a little bit. Cause again, and you know what, like I think pressure can play a big toll as well. Like, cause as you know, now that I'm an adult, like pressure is always there. It's kind of like the devil, like knocking at your door, like, hey, you got to do like the best thing for yourself, you know, to succeed. But yeah, I don't know. Like I fell out of love with the sport essentially, but I think it was a good portion could have been like pressure as well. But I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't love it. Like I said, I'm not going to do it if I'm not 110% in it. I can't like halfway do something. So again, like I'm really grateful that I had like super supportive parents.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've had a few college athletes on the show, and they have said like it got to a point where they had to make a choice, right? Like the last girl I had on, Rachel, she spoke about how like she was at Division I, had to move to a Division I/Division II, I guess, school to meet her needs, right? Because it got too stressful trying to manage all the coursework that you have to do for school, but then on top of it, manage the athletic part.
Yeah, that was definitely tough, like figuring out like that balance, because you know, we would essentially leave class early to get on a bus, go travel to another, you know, part of the state and be there over the weekend and then have to catch up on, you know, your sport or excuse me, your schoolwork. So yeah, it was definitely tough, but honestly, it was more so just like, I just fell out of love with the sport, you know, like I'm very grateful for the experience that I had in like volleyball in college, like being a college athlete, because it definitely, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the type of person I am today as far as like driven and like hungry to like, you know, get what I want done. So grateful for the experience, but everything happens for a reason. And that chapter in my life just had to come to an end. And I'm okay with that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. When did you start? I'm just curious. Like, when did you start playing volleyball?
I started playing in 7th grade because that's whenever that's whenever like the school offered it. So I actually played right up the road in Newland.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm actually, you know, it's crazy. Like, I'm not going to put this where you live out in the world, but like my neighborhood is across from yours.
Oh my gosh.
Was across from yours.
Wow.
Yeah, I was,
so cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like
That's
I texted
so cool.
my mom, like, you won't believe like where I'm at. It's
right
like,
where we grew up.
Exactly. So
cool.
it's like, this is my neighborhood for
fantastic.
a lot of years. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and I know I've talked to you about my daughter playing volleyball. And how, and then I was looking at your bio and you played the libero position, which is really cool because she really wanted to do that. She was going to do that. She's been playing with a club volleyball team. And unfortunately, she sprained her ankle a couple weeks ago. So then we kind of put the season on hold. But yeah, that's what she was going to be doing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. What advice would you give to like a young girl like my daughter or another girl about her age that's just starting out in volleyball? Is there lessons to be learned? Or?
Yeah. So, like being in a group sport, it's not just about yourself. Like you have to be there for other people, you know, like this is a team sport, you know, and then there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable challenges that, you know, are going to present the way. But at the end of the day, just like stick it through because it's ultimately going to shape you to be like, you know, a more driven person in the future. So I think every like kid needs to get into a sport. Like, and I say this, and I hope like my sister looks back in this a couple years from today and like is playing a sport because like it teaches you so much about like who you are, about just being a team player, being there for other people. Like those people around you become like your best friends. Yeah. And usually like those are people you want to surround yourself with. You know, you don't want to surround yourself with well, obviously, like, as a kid, you're going through a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? But if you surround yourself like-minded people, you're more likely to you know, make better decisions and stuff like that. So pick something. Long story short, pick a sport, stick with it for a little bit, give it a chance. If you don't like it, go to another thing. But there's something for everyone, like sports-related or, you know, physical activity-wise, there's something for everyone. So you'll find your niche. Just stick it through.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
So you had said a few things about like you were really adamant about wanting to play volleyball in college. So I wanted to go back to this question, like what drives you to do your best? Like at a young age to be in high school and know like, hey, I want to do this. Like I didn't play sports growing up. So like what was it that kind of that kind of drove you to want that or to be such a hard worker at such a young age?
So I honestly have to give that to like my parents, like my dad and my mom for just continuing to push me because there was a lot of times where I wanted to quit volleyball because I didn't make a specific club team, because I didn't make the number one's club team or something like that. And then my parents, and I remember I was like, you know, let's just give up. Like, you know, maybe I'm not good enough. My parents were like, no. Like, you're not giving up. Like, sorry. Like, we were literally in this as a family. You know, we would travel all over the place. And my parents, there was this one time I didn't make the volleyball team. And my parents were literally looking day in and day out. Oops, sorry if I hit this. My parents were literally looking day in and day out for a like a club tryout so I can come join, like, or come try out, because they knew the potential in me and they didn't want to give up on, and they didn't want me to give up on myself. So, we found, you know, some tryouts and I made it, and it was a pretty good team. And, this is an example, but, essentially like my parents, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be playing volleyball today. So I have to give that to my parents. Like they are my number one fans, my drivers, my no motivators, and they literally did not allow me to quit. And I'm grateful for that.
Awesome.
So
that is
shout out to you, parents.
Aw, that's so good. I love it. Well, we're going to switch gears then. So let's talk a little bit about, let's go right into jiu-jitsu, because that's how I met Sam years ago. I mean, because it's been 3 years since I've been at Triumph. So I initially met you there at Triumph. So how did you get into the sport of jiu-jitsu?
Oh my gosh, this is a hilarious story. And if you know this story, like, you know, the story I'm about to tell is hilarious. So there was this one time I was in college. This is when I was still playing volleyball. Like my dad, he was he was in martial arts. Like he was doing kickboxing. He was doing jiu-jitsu at Triumph in MMA.
Wow.
And I remember like while I was at volleyball, I would call my parents a lot. And then, in college, excuse me, when I was in college, I would call my parents a lot. And then my dad would talk about like, you know, how I need to try kickboxing, how I need to do jiu-jitsu. Like you would be so good at it. He was like, your legs are so strong. Like, I was like, okay, like, what are you talking about? So I remember I came back, and then my dad kept talking to me about like doing, like kickboxing first to start off. It was kickboxing. Yeah. So there was this one day my dad picked me up from college. Don't do what I did, kids, but I was like extremely hungover. And like my parents knew like right away when they picked me up from college on the way home. And my dad was like, you are going to a kickboxing class today. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm literally hungover. Like I need to be in bed. And he was like, no, you're going. And it was like like I said, my parents were my biggest fan. My dad was always hyping me up to like Avery, like, yeah. And Avery's uncle, like, yeah, I have a college athlete. She plays volleyball. She's so good at this, that, and the other. And they were like, he would always hype me up in front of them. And so I was like, there's no way like I can go to this kickboxing class like after you've hyped me up this hard. Like I'm hungover. Yeah. I know I shouldn't have been drinking. I'm sorry, but like I can't do it. He's like, no, you're going. I remember I went. I didn't finish the class. I didn't finish the kickboxing class because I was just so sick. And yeah, that bad decision, hilarious story. But that's basically how it all started. I started with kickboxing, and then I loved it. Oh my God, that story's ridiculous. I started with kickboxing and then I loved it. And and then my dad was like, you need to stay for jiu-jitsu. You'd be really good at it. And I was like, okay. And it was really cool because we would like, since I was back home from college, like we would carpool to training together and talk about like our training. And it was such a like special father-daughter moment, honestly. And I swear I'm like the son my dad never had. I tell people this all the time, like, yeah, I'm girly, but I swear I'm the son my parents never had. But anyways, like, dang, what was the question?
Yeah, like going back to like, that's how you started.
That's how it started?
Was this at the old gym? This was, right?
Yeah, so this was at like, oh my God, the gym was like tiny. Yeah. It was probably a little bit bigger than this room, honestly. Like the gym was so small. And then Avery was either a blue belt or a purple belt. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my dad and Avery were really close. And then that's basically how it started. Like I started doing jiu-jitsu and then I hated jiu-jitsu the first month. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so boring. Like, what do you mean I have to shrimp up and down the mat? Like, this is so stupid. Like, I don't want to back roll, forward roll. I can't even do a cartwheel. Like, I don't want to do this. But ultimately, I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
So here I am.
What age were you at when you started then?
Yeah, so I was still in college, so I was probably like 18 or 19.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And now how old are you too?
I'm 26.
So 26. Awesome.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, and you've been doing it the whole time, like off and on, despite some injuries here and there. Yeah. What do you like about jiu-jitsu? Because I know you said like you and your dad would also bond over that, right? You said he doesn't necessarily do this anymore.
He doesn't train anymore. He stopped at blue belt. Okay. He had some like pretty severe back surgeries, so he had to stop that. Stopped. But he lives through me.
Awesome. So what do you like about it? What kind of keeps you coming back?
I love it because it's like there's so much to learn. Like I keep coming back because I'm not the best. Like everyone is so good. So it's like I need to keep coming back and train and learn how to do that. So honestly, just the challenge of like just continuously learning, you know, and you know, I want to be better than that person and that person. I'm competitive. It's you know what I mean? So definitely just the challenges.
How many girls would you say were at the gym when you first started? because this is going to be cool.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So
Yeah.
it was me. It was Brittany. Hey, Brittany, if you're watching. It was obviously Ashley.
Yes.
It was
Stephanie?
Stephanie started a little bit after, because David and Chris started together first. And then I think Stephanie started a couple months later. But I remember like seeing Brittany a lot.
Okay.
I remember seeing Brittany a lot. And I also was really close with this girl named Taylor.
Okay.
She's really great.
Yeah.
And like we did kickboxing and she moved to Ohio. But who I remember like specifically is Brittany and Ashley. So they were like the first girls there. And I remember because my dad would talk to me about Brittany, like, yeah, there's this really tough girl in there. Like, you need to meet her. I'm like, okay. And then I remember like she was scary looking. And then when I started talking to her, I'm like, oh my gosh, Brittany's so nice.
Yeah. And then what about Brooklyn at the time?
She was my gosh. Yeah. Brooklyn.
She was so young.
Oh my God. Brooklyn. Like, you know this. Anytime I talk to Brooklyn or like, I'm speaking of Brooklyn, I talked to her like she's a little kid. But you've like, you said like, I've always known Brooklyn as like a young adult. You know what I mean?
Right? It's so strange.
So yeah, oh my gosh, Brooklyn was like a little baby, like training. Oh my gosh,
what's
so
crazy
incredible.
to me, and we've talked about this so many times, is just how jiu-jitsu unites people, right? It doesn't matter if you're old, young, like if there's a lot of years between you or where you come from or like your background, it's like, it kind of bonds, like it makes everyone kind of come together. So it's pretty cool.
I agree.
I love it. And I even love just looking back at Triumph, like the old pictures, like to see how far everyone's progressed.
Like just seeing the women's program over there and seeing that Brittany like is taking over those classes and seeing how many women are showing up. It's just so incredible to see because like women's jiu-jitsu is really growing and like we are impacting that. You know? We're making a positive impact. So I think that's really special.
Well, and then you see these little badass little
killers
girls coming up. These girls, like even my daughter, like she just went out for wrestling this week, and I'm like, what? At her middle school? But that's attributed to jiu-jitsu because there are some other girls from the gym that are also into wrestling.
Oh my gosh!
And it's just you're seeing these little powerhouse girls that are like 11, 12 years old and they're kicking butt. And it's like, I can't imagine them at 26, right?
Yeah,
like they're going to just do some really big things.
It's insane, honestly, to think about how insane these girls are and how tough they are.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know.
She's going to be so good when she gets older.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, so Triumph Fight Academy is affiliated with Pedigo Submission Fighting, and they are also known as like Daisy Fresh, like they had the gym Daisy Fresh. Will you speak a little bit about when you got to go travel to the headquarters, I guess? Tell us a little bit about where that is and like what was that experience like with some of those powerhouses?
So that was in Mount Vernon and I went with Nia. We did a little road trip and then I can't remember how long we stayed for. It might have been like 3 days. I feel like, I think it was like 3 days. And pretty much whenever we went to Mount Vernon and there's still the laundromat. So, you know, they're in the little rundown like building. And we were going solely to just like train hard. Like we just wanted to train hard and we just wanted to like scrap essentially and we went and I think we went like to 2 or 3 sessions a day. I think it was 2 sessions, but they were like just intense ass sessions of just like the first session was like drilling and I believe it was like the noonish time. So you picked like whatever you wanted to drill on. And I think sometimes they would have a wrestling class. I can't like remember it perfectly, but because oh my gosh, how long ago was that? Was that like 4 years ago or 5 years ago?
Yeah, well, I remember hearing about it, so it has to be at least within the time I've been there, I would assume.
Yeah,
or maybe
it
was
know.
before.
I don't know.
Been.
Anyways, so so we would do like a really hard drilling class, drill whatever you wanted, or it would be that or the wrestling class, I believe. And then at nighttime, it was just like a comp class. Okay. And oh my gosh, it was so hot in there. It was so hot in there. Like it was actually really cold outside, but they would have. I think they would have heaters inside to like try to like warm it up a little bit, but it was so hot. But yeah, it was straight like, you know, scrapping, you know, people going hard, but it was awesome. I got really good training and that's always what I'm like looking for, tough training. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
But did they have any girls really at that point?
They did have a couple girls, not like too large of a group though, but there was a couple.
And for anyone that's listening to this and doesn't understand what we're talking about in regard to Daisy Fresh, so it used to be a laundromat, right? The building that Heath Pedigo started Pedigo fighting out of basically started at this Daisy Fresh laundromat, and they kept the sign up for years, right?
Yeah.
And it just became like the guys that trained there, I think I heard, I don't know if it's rumors, but they used to sleep there. They would like, some of them would like, they were like hardcore, right?
No, yeah. Like people would like they would wipe down the mats to the best they could at like, you know, once the training was over, and they would just bring their mats and then just sleep there. Like some people would sleep in their cars out in the parking lot too.
Like everything was jiu-jitsu, right? Like
literally.
It was just, that was their
that
life,
was their life,
right?
literally.
But now they're known, well known. I mean, I feel like Heath Pedigo has a ton of affiliates, and like they are just doing big things.
Yeah, it's insane. So
that was awesome. So you felt like you got to learn from some of those bigger names?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was cool. You know, I can't remember exactly who was coaching. Like I know Heath was coaching a good bit.
Jacob Couch though, did you get
I think he was actually on Fight to Win whenever we were there.
Oh,
I think that was like one of the first times he was actually at Fight to Win. So we watched him that night, that evening, whichever night it was. So he wasn't there. But yeah, I do remember Heath coaching, Alejandro. But yeah, that's what I can think of.
Awesome. Well, that's a cool experience. And then now they're in that new building, so the laundromat isn't even like a thing. Crazy. So it's cool you got to go there and see it.
Yeah, I know.
It's like their bones
really
where
cool.
they started. Have you ever... I know you've done tournaments, and I do want to get to Worlds eventually. But my first question is, can you tell us a little bit about any super fights you've done? I know you have done one.
Yeah, so I actually haven't done that many super fights.
Okay.
It was like the one super fight I did was actually the one that I got hurt on. So yeah, I dislocated my elbow. When was that? That was like
22, maybe. I feel like it was.
I don't know why I'm like losing track of time of how crazy like time flies, but yeah, it had to be like 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, because my daughter had just started, and they saw this happen to you, and I was.
Oh my god, yeah. So it was like insane. I was so hyped for this super fight. Like I remember going out there, and like my song was playing. It was like some reggaeton song that I put on. I was dancing and everything, and then literally, we just started wrestling a little bit. Like we're kind of going back and forth, and then. I posted on a takedown and then my elbow literally dislocated. I thought that was the worst pain of my life. Yeah. I seriously thought that was the worst pain of my life until the most previous injury I had. But I remember like someone carrying me out. I don't know who. It might have been Avery. It might have been, I know Avery's mom was with me. And then, they carried me outside, and I was just like I was crying. I was in shock. Like I was in so much shock that I literally like threw up. Sorry, that's disgusting. Yeah, but I literally threw up outside, and I remember the guys were like, "I'll just pop it back into place." I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss in here, but I was like, "Are you serious?" Like my elbow is literally out of socket. What do you mean pop it back in place? Like, and then Avery's mom was like, "That's a horrible idea." Like she's a doctor. Like of course I'm listening to the doctor. You know. Yes. So yeah, that was like the one and only super fight I've done. I've only really ever done like the tournaments that have multiple. Yeah. So, I mean, that's definitely in the future. I want to try it again in the future. But I dislocated my elbow on a takedown. Always break fall. Eat the fall always. Yep.
How long did it take for you to recover from that?
So honestly, not that long. Like, I think it took me to fully recover maybe like 4 or 5 months, maybe 5 months. 4 months. Not that much time
to hop back into jiu-jitsu.
I was actually like back in jiu-jitsu, like doing what I can, just like working on like my footwork, sprawling like with one arm. I was just working on my on my stance, on like wrestling shots. I was literally just in jiu-jitsu probably like the next week, just doing what I can.
Nice.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Has that changed your game in any way? Like
my arm,
injuries, any injuries? I mean, is it kind of?
Yeah.
I mean, do you still feel like you're like you go hardcore, or is it like you're a little more reluctant or hesitant to be as aggressive?
I feel like I ultimately still like to like scrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like going through that injury, I had to protect like my left side a ton. I remember I would literally like give up my entire, other side to like protect my arm.
Yeah.
But on it, like that injury, I feel like I can still, the recovery was so quick that I feel like it really hasn't impacted me like in my day-to-day, my jiu-jitsu either. Like maybe, I was protecting this side more so for like a couple months, but other than that, like I trust it and I feel strong, honestly.
So I have a couple of other questions, but this could go many different paths. So I'm going to try and keep it focused because ultimately I want to get to Nogi Worlds. But before we get there, I want to talk about, so I initially met you at Try and Fight Academy. You were there for, I want to say for a good bit. And then you were also training at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Yeah. And then you eventually made the jump, right, full time to Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy. And that's where you met Jay, your boyfriend, for 3.5 years. Yeah. But can we kind of talk about that transition? Maybe a little bit about Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy, because that ultimately led to Worlds and then your promotion. Your next
step. So I remember that I wanted to get like more looks, like different training partners. So I started training at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy part-time, and I would go like 2 days. I would try to go 1 or 2 days out of the week and then still, come to Triumph. And then I was doing that for actually several months, like both, and then I met Jay in Charlotte, and obviously that persuaded me to, switch over full time to Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu. But also like I would get off of work. I work in Charlotte. Like I would have to drive all the way to Indialand, come train at Triumph when I can just drive to Noda and go to Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy. So honestly, like the transition was actually like, it was hard for me because it was like, these are my people. I always say like Avery raised me, and then Piper has helped like develop me. So like that was really tough to do that. And I didn't know how to do it, or, I spoke to Piper a little bit about it, and I spoke to my dad too. Cause my dad's friends with Avery and stuff. So yeah, no hard feelings, like I love, all of you guys, as you guys know, like I'm still very close with the girls and stuff, but yeah, I was like, I just need to go over here. This is where like I need to close this chapter. Like this is where I need to go now. My boyfriend's here. Like it's more convenient. And there was like, a group of girls there too. So
is the crowd a little younger at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy, or is it a variety?
Yeah, so I would say the crowd is a little younger, but honestly, it depends on what class you go, because the noon classes are the old people classes. Yeah. Except if you go to like Tuesday, Thursday noon, like we'll get some, people.
I'm wondering, well, and I would attribute this to the vicinity of where Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy is, because I feel like and I guess there's a variety of people of all ages around Uptown, right? Yeah. But that's interesting that you say depending on the time of day.
Yeah, no, depending on the time.
People working.
No, it's because of like, it's funny because our noon classes are the old people classes. Yeah. Like these are the people that have businesses, that have longer lunch breaks, that, are more financially stable. Like those are that group. So it's so funny. But yes, I would say all in all, like, I don't know how many members Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu has. Like there's a ton. Yeah. It's like, sometimes I'm like, go away. Like you guys just got here, go away. But yeah, I think ultimately it depends on the class, but noon classes are the old folk class for sure.
Okay. And then as far as like being at Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu Academy, so you started there as a blue belt. Yeah. Let's talk about your journey to Nogi Worlds. Yeah. So you did that last year, right?
Yeah, I did that last year. Okay. That was so fun. And like, so like training at Charlotte has been awesome. Like I love Piper. Like he is like the gym dad. Like he looks after all the girls at the gym, because there's a bunch of people that come and cross train and like don't really train with us, but like he takes care of us and makes sure like, hey, if there's any weirdos, you let me know. We're gonna get them kicked out of here, So like I remember like I was competing in some smaller competitions like Naga and New Breed before, just test it out, see where I'm at, because like after my elbow dislocation, I was like traumatized of competing, and it's like I feel like I'm doing good, and I feel like I'm good, like I'm like training with tough people, but like I just have to like overcome this fear. and compete.
Yep.
Literally my fear is to lose. Like I hate to lose. Like even in volleyball, like whenever if I gave it my all and we lost as a team, like it would get to me like emotionally like so bad because I want like that fire of like winning is just there. So I just hated to lose. So I'm like I don't know if I want to do this. And I'm glad Avery pushed me to like always compete, you know, even as a white belt. But I started doing some local competitions to see how I was doing, and I did well. Like I won like some of the local competitions, you know. And I remember talking to Piper and then talking to Jay. Jay's always like, do it. Like, you're the best. Like, I could literally, it could be me and a black belt. He'd be like, you're the best, Sam. Like, what do you mean? Same with him, you know? Like, it'll be like a group of 5 black belts. He's a brown belt. And he's like, I'm still the best. Like, it's true. It's like a good mindset to have. But anyways, but yeah, I did some local competitions. I was winning. And I was like, Piper, I think, I don't know though, but I think what I want to do Nogi Worlds. And I remember telling some of the girls at the gym I wanted to do Nogi Worlds, and they're like, Sam, like you need to do it. Like, what do you mean? Do it. Like, what do you have? Literally, what do you have to lose? Yeah. So I don't know. It was just constant fighting against myself, like figuring out like, am I good enough? And like, I am my worst enemy. Like, honestly, I am my worst enemy when it comes to stuff like that. But it came to the point where I was like, I need to do the things that I'm afraid of to say that I did it. You know what I mean? So I signed up, and then I had like a group of supportive people behind me, my mom, my dad, boyfriend, Piper, you know, my friends, family. Like I had a supportive group behind me, and I was like, what better, you know, time to do it than now? Like people believe in me. Like I feel like I've been working really, really hard, and I feel good in my jiu-jitsu. And yeah, I started training like really hard, like the past or like 2 months prior to Worlds. And it's just so fucking crazy because it's like this is my first like IBJJF, first Worlds, like huge like tournament. And it's like, okay, there's Sam signing up for Nogi Worlds. But like I knew that people like believed in me, that I'm like, okay, they wouldn't, if I really sucked that bad, I know they wouldn't let me do this, like fly to Vegas, like, you know what I mean? Like so I feel like I had a chance. So I was like, okay. So I signed up, and it was a lot of, I'm not gonna lie to you, like it was mainly like a mental and like challenge than a physical, you know, mental emotional challenge than a physical challenge. Yeah, were you gonna ask something?
Yeah, well, so I was curious, how many matches did you end up having?
Okay, so I had 1, 2, 3. I had 4. So I lost my 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost my 4th match. And then it was crazy because the day of Worlds, there was this one wrestler girl in my bracket. Yeah, her name was Helen. I had no idea who this girl was. And I'm so glad I didn't know. Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't know. Like, I was telling Piper, I have never felt so good to compete in my life, honestly. Good. And I told Piper, I'm like, and Mackenzie, and literally anyone that was there, tell me when I'm going. Tell me when I need to start warming up. That's all I need to know. Don't tell me who I'm going against. Yep. Don't tell me, you know, who's in my bracket. I don't care to know. I do not care to know. Just tell me when I'm going. You know, because then I'm going to get in my head, and then I'm going to look people up. Like, it was literally to the point I had to, like, turn off Instagram that day because I was like, I'm so locked in. Like, I have to win. Like, I have to win. So, yeah, the 4th match, I was up an advantage the entire time until the last, like, 8 seconds. Oh, no. Yeah, so she, like, essentially swept me, and then I was, like, trying to get up. I think I was, like, coming off the mat a little bit, hopefully so we can reset or something. And I remember I sat on my butt like 2 seconds too long, and then she got like the point for the sweep. And oh my God, it was so heartbreaking. I'm like, no, like I was right there. I was gonna go against Helen. Like I could have potentially won, you know? But I was so proud of myself. Like I thought I was gonna be like super pissed if I were to, you know, not win. Because I just felt so confident. It was crazy because I'm not like an overly confident person like that, but I just felt so confident that I was gonna like win. But like my team, like Piper is so proud of me. And I remember telling Mackenzie, I'm like, do not allow Piper to promote me unless I get first place. Do not allow him to promote me. But like I honestly competed really well, and Piper promoted me, and it was like such a surreal moment. And I just felt like even though I didn't win, like I overcame my fear.
Yep.
I was so close, to getting second place by like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And I flew all the way out here and I did it. So I was really happy with myself. My first like IBJJF like big title, and I couldn't have done it without my people.
So you still podium too, right? Like you end up with bronze, right?
Yeah, that was That's cool. Awesome. That was a really neat experience, especially Worlds. Like, it's such a big tournament,
Yeah.
So can't wait till next year.
Kevin has done that too, right? And I just like even doing some of the IBJJF like tournaments like Pans, right? Like I remember the first time we walked into Florida for Pans for Kevin to compete, and just looking around, even just the size of that. And I even been to Worlds. I've heard it's just monumental. It's massive. The building, the mats, the number of mats, it's like insane. The hustle and bustle, because like jiu-jitsu cons usually going on too, and like it's so big.
It is.
And just it's emotional, right? Like you come in and just. I remember Kevin, like, just even like not tears, but like just, it's
shock.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
No, literally it is.
So it's so many emotions besides the fact that you're just like, I need to win this, like, and then getting in your head about who you're going against. So I understand everything you're saying, and I haven't even done anything like to that capacity.
I will say, like, the one thing that helped me a lot, like, doing as well as I did in Worlds is like, this sounds so corny, but this is so true. Like affirmations, like writing out and seeing it every day. It sounds corny, but I so strongly believe in affirmations. People are like, how did you feel about, the competition? How did you feel going into it? I'm like, I felt so good because I literally made myself believe that I was going to win. Yeah. Like I felt like I did so good. I would literally write, I will win Nogi Worlds. I'm the best. Nobody's faster than me. Nobody's stronger than me. And like, I literally believed it and like played it out in my head, and I never felt better. And I did that with a lot of other things, in my life. Like I'm going to get a better job, and that happened, and I did well at Nogi Worlds, and so that's a big part of like what helped me play out. Just honestly affirmations and faith. Like,
good. I love that. That's a great. I mean, that's another question I had for you before you're done. What ended up happening in the final? Did the Helen girl?
Yeah, so Helen won first place, which is like incredible. Like this was her first jiu-jitsu competition.
But she was a wrestler, you said, right?
She's like winning things left and right still. Like after like I knew who she was and people were telling me like this is a big deal. Like she's like really good. I'm like, seriously? Like that's kind of crazy. But she's like a wrestler.
Did I hear rumors about the Olympics though with her? I thought I heard
you probably you probably heard something correct.
Like an Olympic wrestler?
She keeps like winning things, which is incredible. But I actually really like her after like, I saw that she was in my bracket and stuff and she won. I like did a little bit of research and started looking, on her Instagram and stuff. I'm like, wow, she's like incredible.
And I just think that speaks volumes of like jiu-jitsu and how it can also translate into other disciplines, right? Like of martial arts or like other like modalities, right?
For sure.
Like and you see it on for her to come in and not really have a jiu-jitsu background. That's pretty interesting too. But that is so awesome. Like to speak to what you did, like putting yourself out there. I know Kevin was the same way. Like he like wrote it out. I am a world champion. Yeah. Like and it was on his steering wheel for an entire year. Like I am going to be a world champion, right? Like, and just, kind of getting past those jitters. I have such competition jitters. I don't know how to ever get past it.
No, me too. I do. I also do. But I think it's just like, it's such a mindset thing.
It is.
Like, honestly, I feel like 80% of it is such a mindset thing. Like, just like making yourself believe, something.
Right.
When you don't.
Right.
It's just like, that's such a skill to have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like, God, just telling yourself that like you can do this, and then also, having faith and, praying and stuff. So, I'm a Christian girl, even though I
Good.
say a lot of vulgar things sometimes. I'm a Christian girl, okay, guys?
I love it. I've read before that, like, have you ever done something hard and someone says to you, like, of course you did that. And you like, it almost takes away like the hard work. Do you know how hard I had to work to do that?
Yeah.
But like what it shows is other people believe in you almost more than you yourself, right?
Yeah, no,
you
for sure.
We really just sometimes have to take other people's perceptions and like
So
be
true.
like, okay, they believe in me. I can do this.
Yeah, so true.
I love it. Are you going to do ADCC?
I can't. It's too early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. So in your bio, you mentioned ACL surgery.
Yup.
So when I initially read that, I thought, oh, this is like surely this had to be like volleyball time.
This is like 8 years ago.
College, right? I was so
Yeah.
flippant about it. So tell us a little bit about it, Sam. When did this happen?
Oh my
and how did this
gosh.
happen?
Okay, yeah. So before I get in, I was telling Bethany, like, this is like my come out story with my ACL reconstruction surgery, because like people that know me, that see me every day, they're the only people that know. Or if like you saw me with a huge robotic brace in the grocery store or something, you're one, like the people that know. But all in all, like the past 7 months, I haven't like came out about getting ACL surgery. But yeah, I did tear my ACL in March, and I tore it training jiu-jitsu, and I was actually getting ready for ADCC Atlanta the following month or the month after that. So I can go compete with Jay. And yeah, I tore it at a comp class and training jiu-jitsu. And it was like, I seriously thought my world was over. Like there's so many emotions going through like your head, because it's like, what do you mean? Like, I know I'm young, I'm 26, but like this is supposed to happen when I'm like 16. Yeah. So 17, 18, you know what I mean? But yeah, I tore it in March, got the surgery in April. Okay. And I am 6 months post-op now. Wow, I can't believe it. Wow. I just came back to jiu-jitsu 3 weeks ago. So I'm not 100% by any means, but I do what I can.
Do you have to wear like a brace now too?
Yeah, like I wear a brace because it feels like a little more comfortable on my knee. But yeah, I had a full tear, and yeah, the surgery was like so painful. Like literally, it was literally so. I was like, this is gonna be a breeze. I just looked at my elbow, like I'm strong, I can do anything. Yeah. Nope. Like I don't wish any type of ACL anything like on my worst enemy. Yeah. It is such like, this journey has been about nothing. It has been about faith and like patience. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that is what the surgery has like taught me, and that's what this year has revolved around, I feel like. But yeah, I'm 6 months post-op. I'm still getting better, and I probably won't be like training or competing in jiu-jitsu until like next year, probably like March. Yes. Yeah, because it takes like a full year, you know. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was an insensitive question for me to ask about ADCC, but I totally slips my mind.
No,
right?
it's
like you're sitting here,
fine.
You look great. Like
no, it's fine.
good.
It's like a lot of people don't know, and it's I'm glad, honestly.
That's good.
It's also a little bit frustrating because it's like, okay, yeah, you don't know, but I am not like 100% by any means.
Right.
So yeah, that has been a journey. Yeah. That has been a journey. Yeah. Like it has literally taken me so long I feel like to come back on the mats. I still think it's a little bit early. Like, well, mind you, my physical therapist gave me some clearance. Okay. So I can be gentle, right? Training jiu-jitsu. I don't know how that works, but I just have to be very cautious about like the people I train with.
Could you speak to like how it happened? Like, was it a specific move?
Yeah.
What happened?
So I was training with a really good friend of mine, and like one of my favorite training partners. You know, like we just go at it. Like it is what it is, and we're getting ready for comp, and it was like really that night's kind of a blur, but from what I remember, like I went to Turtle, and then she like crucifixed me, I believe. Like her arms were wrapped around her legs were wrapped around my arm, and then she had a Kimura grip on this other arm, and then like I was essentially like trying to pick her up and like deadlifted her and hoping like she would like fall off, and she did, but like I blinked and then she was on my leg, and then it's literally like she went from here to there like so fast. Yeah. And I didn't hear it because the music was so loud. And I honestly didn't feel it too much either. It just felt like a little snap, but she heard it and she felt it. And then immediately she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh my God, there's something wrong. Like, I bent my leg, I extended it, I bent it. I'm like, okay, wait, I can do that. Like, maybe I'm good. And I'm like, okay, help me up. This is going to be the ultimate test to see if I can get up. And then I got up and it was like excruciating pain. And like, like I knew something was messed up. The guys were like, you know, sleep on it. It'll get better. See how you feel tomorrow. I'm like, no, like I need to go to the doctor. I know something's wrong. And then I got the x-ray and then the doctor pretty much told me like, he didn't need to see an MRI. Like, obviously I'm still going to get one, but he didn't need to see an MRI to tell me that it was, you know, that it was torn. Yeah. So it was completely torn. Yeah, I was like on the way to the doctor praying that it was my meniscus or MCL. Unfortunately, I feel like the ACL is like the worst, you know, CL in the knee. From what I've learned these past 6 months. But yeah, it's been like a lot of up and downs this year as far as like, you know, obviously this is like, it's really shitty because, you know, this was my year to like go out and give it my all and compete here, there, and everywhere. And like,
a new purple belt. Too,
and like I felt good, you know, but God had other plans. God had other plans.
What were some of the things you did during that recovery? Like to kind of, for your mind, your body, everything. Yeah.
So I feel like I got more in touch with my faith, honestly, like throughout the recovery, like just praying a lot and like leaning towards God more, and then just doing what I can. Like literally people would tell me like, hey, walking, that's gonna do you wonders right now. Like you need to like do what you can for your own mental health, because like the only passion and hobby I have, I swear, is like sports related and like jiu-jitsu. I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So honestly, just doing what I can, gym, lifting. Like I've literally have been lifting nonstop for the past 6-7 months. Like that's one thing I am incorporating like a bunch from here on out, is just like as much lifting as possible so I can just be strong, so this can be prevented. You know, but yeah.
Is that CrossFit lifting or regular lifting? Because I also saw that in there too.
Yeah, so like it's funny how oh my God, I feel like I'm in so many different like areas when it comes to physical activity sometimes, but Avery actually forced me to try CrossFit one time.
Oh yeah?
It was at the CrossFit gym next door. And it was so random. I think it was like a New Year's Eve class, and he was like, hey, do you want to go like do this CrossFit workout? And I'm like, sure. Like if it's something physical activity related, I'm so down, which is like crazy. And I feel like Avery's that way too, you know? So we went, and I think the class either consisted of like assault biking or rowing and like hang cleans or something. I had the best time. It was so fun. Like I loved CrossFit, and I told people I feel like I love CrossFit because it brings me to that level of intensity where I feel like I'm about to die, like kind of where jiu-jitsu brings me, but I don't die.
But you don't.
and then after I did it, I'm like, holy crap, that was so hard. I did it, you know? So I was trying to do both for a little bit. It's literally impossible. If you do jiu-jitsu and CrossFit, how? Literally how? Because like how? There's so like...
It's also expensive.
So much wear and tear on your body.
Yes, but it's also expensive.
But yeah, I did do some CrossFit for a couple of years on and off, and I love it. And I wish I can do it more, but I love jiu-jitsu more than CrossFit.
Yeah. So. We dabbled in CrossFit back in the day. I'd like to say before it was cool. Yeah. Because it was like trendy now. Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, we did it for like a year, and then this was like 2010 or something. Yeah. And then we just stick to normal lifting. But anyway, it's cool. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out in jiu-jitsu, maybe even specifically like a woman, because it can be a little, you know, overwhelming. Yeah. You walk in, it's mostly males, and then even the girls there are like hardcore. So it's like, what would you say to someone that's brand new?
Well, what I would say is try it. I think everyone needs to at least try jiu-jitsu, like a martial art, once in their life. Like try it. If you don't love it, okay, you tried it, move on, like try something else. But it has just taught me so much about myself as far as like determination, and has taught me a lot about myself, like just outside of sports related, you know, so stick with it, give it a shot. Jiu-jitsu is tough because it did take me like a month to really like it. But if you are in a gym, you know, get in contact with like the coach, figure out where his head is at. Like if you get a good vibe from the coach and the environment's good, like stick it out, you know, for a couple weeks, give it a shot, and then yeah, and maybe it'll change your life too. And I hope it has, like it has changed our lives, you know?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm really grateful for jiu-jitsu. Like some of my best friends are in jiu-jitsu, you know, and I'm around a lot of like-minded people.
Yep.
And I've met some of the best people in this sport, as well as some of the strangest people in this sport.
Yes,
I'm sure you know what I mean? But this is jiu-jitsu's for everyone.
Yeah.
Literally all ages, like
Agree.
we briefly said earlier. So give it a shot. You can't say no unless you try it. If you're like, the first time, give it like 3 more weeks.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
See if you come around.
Right.
You
It
know?
definitely can be infuriating though too, because especially
God,
like if you're one that doesn't like to lose, right?
Yeah.
Or if you think like you had this idea about yourself before you go. I know like Kevin has tried to get some other guys in it, and like they've gone a few times and then they are like, no, not for me. And it's because they don't like to lose, right?
It's a big ego thing.
Yeah.
Like you got to turn that ego off as soon as you come in through the doors, because I promise that's your first mistake right there.
Right.
You're gonna there's gonna be an issue. So yeah, I honestly love jiu-jitsu so much.
That also speaks to the point too about like sizing up like your opponent, right? Like I have a tendency to do that in competition, and
like
I
looking him up.
and I'm like saying, oh, she already looks tougher than me, so she's gonna win.
No, don't. You see, that's your mistake.
Right?
You literally cannot.
No, you can't.
That's why I deleted it. Like I'm like I don't care who they are. They should be scared. I don't care who they are. But yeah, don't do that. You're gonna do yourself wonders if you do not do that.
Yes, agree. Agree for sure. All right. So we've spoken a lot about jiu-jitsu. So let's shift to something else. How about let's talk about this mobile bartending business you and Jay are into.
Yeah.
So speak about that. How did that come about? And
So
just tell us all about it.
Yeah. So Jay is a bartender, and like I don't know how it got brought up all of a sudden, or like I think he just brought it up one day, just thinking out loud, right? And then one thing led to another. He started researching a lot, and like, you know, he started going on Google, looking up the licenses, this, that, and the other, like what are the laws in the Carolinas, and yeah, he got his license. He bought the LLC, and we started doing events. It was like a little slow in the beginning, because it was kind of like we don't know where to start. It's like when you start something you don't have experience, like, oh God, like where do I start? Who do I look for? So it was just a lot about researching, honestly, and that he's done a lot of that. And yeah, we've done a couple events, like wedding events, you know, mainly weddings. We've done like some parties as well. So yeah, we're in the Charlotte and services surrounding areas.
What's the business called?
Yeah, it's called Wonder Brew. You can look us up on Instagram. It's wonderbrew.clt.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's honestly so fun. Like, I think I've always wanted to bartend a little bit, but I've always kind of been afraid of it. But you know, this is something that's kind of making me uncomfortable a little bit, and I'm getting comfortable doing it, and it's fun meeting people. And honestly, we're talking about it like we honestly have a fun time when we're doing it. So
that's awesome. Your marketing, right?
Yeah,
which is right up your alley.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of fun. Like I help him out a lot with the social media.
Is it just the two of you that run it?
Yeah, so I mean, he's hired like one of his very close friends to like help with the business, because he also has bartending experience. But I'm sure like in the future, future couple of years, obviously like we want to hire people, you know, to go do the events for us. So that's like long-term goal. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've learned a lot about each other, and yeah, we'll see where it takes us.
Do you have like a certain, like if he's more the bartending aspect, are you doing more of the like marketing piece, or do you do more of the businessy behind the scenes?
So that's kind of how it's been. I've been more so like marketing aspect of it, and like at the events, I'm almost like a bar back, I swear, because I fill up things, I make sure things look good, decorations are good, you know, I help set up, set down, really anything he needs. Like I'm there to assist, but hopefully in the future, like, you know, when we get like larger events, like we both want to bartend. Like that'd be super cool, you know? And
that's awesome.
Like I said, I kind of want to get into that too. So
that sounds fun. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So let's shift gears to like your day job. I want to just know more so about like, so you're in digital marketing. So tell us more about what that means. I know what digital means and I know what marketing is, but like, what is like your day job?
Yeah, essentially it's just like a project manager, onboarding specialist job. So We help onboard like small to medium sized businesses. We like help them create like an online presence. Like, you know, some people do have online presences when they come to us, but those are primarily the people we work with. So help building their websites, you know, helping them with like SEO and move up within the rankings on like Google. And AI, you know, AI is taking over the world. So digital marketing, there's like a lot of opportunity. And yeah, I'm just excited to continue dabbling in the world of digital marketing.
Right. And then like, that's so cool to maybe see that translate over into like your personal with Jay, like doing the whole
oh my gosh,
mobile bartending.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. People at work actually have seen some of the things I've posted, like, oh, are you doing that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, you also do jiu-jitsu? I'm like, yeah, I know, crazy, right? Like,
I know.
people like that see me at work, they're like, you do jiu-jitsu? I'm like, I don't get it either, but here I am.
I know, right? That's how it is in my school too.
Oh my God,
like
I
teacher
bet.
world, right?
I bet.
Like, who is this chick? I mean, you're a teacher and you're like, what, doing this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. I understand that 100%. All right. A couple of other questions in regard to like strength and success, because again, the premise of the podcast is what makes a strong, successful woman. And so what do those two words mean to you? What is strength and what is success?
So strength, honestly, like in success, they go hand in hand. But like when I have a goal, like you have to go overcome a lot of challenges and, you know, ups and downs and, you know, overcoming the fear and that you had and getting through those obstacles has, you know, that's essentially what success means to me, just overcoming in general. I actually have a tattoo that says overcome.
Oh, I love it.
And that's kind of like me and my mom's thing. It's like, you're always going to overcome like what's happening right now. Like there's essentially always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep pushing through. So all in all, like I feel like all those words all kind of go hand in hand with me, and it's really important. Overcome and is a big one for me as well. So
yeah, I'm gonna hit the spiritual side with this because I was watching something and they were talking about like praising God in those moments, the bad moments, before you get to the good moments. Yeah, because it's in those bad moments that like you really grow the most and learn the most. Yeah, and no one ever wants to go through those valleys, but like for sure, it's how you handle the adversity in those bad moments that eventually will give you the light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure. I totally agree with that. And like being uncomfortable, that's a big one too. Like I thrive off of like routine and consistency and stuff. And just like, you know, going through these uncomfortable situations is just like, you don't want to do it sometimes, but after you do it, it's like, oh my God, like I grew so much and I've learned so much. So,
and like you going through a traumatic injury and surgery, like maybe you could be that help for someone else that goes through it much later.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I hopefully, you know, like if someone's ever going through a tough time and had something similar to me, like I hope I can do that for them, because it's not for the weak, like going through this injury, honestly, but I have came such a long way and I'm so proud of myself. And like, people wouldn't even think about coming back on the mats post ACL surgery, you know, let alone 6 months post. But I feel good. I feel like, you know, I'm young and I'll always be young. So, I can do it. If anyone can do it, I can do it. Yes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. What or who inspires you the most right now? I know you said earlier, like your parents like drive you to do your best and kind of gave you that go get them attitude, but like, is there someone or something that maybe inspires you the most right now?
Honestly, I feel like that question, it's like a group of women, and I'm sure like, people who know me, I'm sure they know, but like my grandma, and then my great aunt Estela, abuela, and then my mom, like they're like my best friends. Like my grandmas, like I talk to them literally every day, and like I swear, like these women think I'm like Superwoman. Like they think I am like the coolest, the best person ever, and they like, oh my gosh, like everything I do it for them, and it's because of like the values they have taught me. And same thing with my mom, but you know, I'm just super close with my grandmas and stuff, and just seeing their upbringing, and you know, my mom too, being a single mom for a couple years, like seeing how she literally picked up her stuff and came to the Carolinas and did, you know, had a whole new life, just her and her daughter. Like like, girl, you are awesome. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Because I'm 26 years old and I can't even believe like some of the things like they have gone through. And honestly, they need to be sitting here with us on the podcast.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because they are awesome. Like those women are so strong, and I am not I'm not the person I am today without them. So they have definitely molded and shaped me to be the woman I am today.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Awesome. You did say Air Force family. So who was in the Air Force?
So it's actually my cousin.
Your cousin.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's actually
nice.
my cousin, and like we're all really, really proud of him. He's like the brother I never had. And I really wanted to get in the Air Force. Yeah? I really did. But unfortunately I couldn't get into it. And I'm okay about talking about it too. So I don't care if we talk about it. But I really wanted to do it. And seeing him, and he did it, like he was actually the oldest person like in his little base camp.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Kevin. I'm probably like messing this up. But like he was like the oldest one. And like, cause usually they're like straight out of college or straight out of high school, like 18, 19 years old. He was like early 30s, like just got married. Like he just figured this is what I need to do right now. And you know, he has a beautiful home in Colorado. And I'm like, oh my God, like I feel like I am the epitome of like military. Obviously looking at me, I'm like, this girl, no. But like I feel like my mentality, because I thrive so much of like off of like routine and discipline and stuff like that. I was like, I feel like I would be a great candidate. And even my parents were like, girl, you would. Like, why haven't you done it? I'm like, I don't know. Why didn't you tell me to do it after school? But unfortunately, I talked to a couple of recruiters. Like I was actually legit about it, but unfortunately it's kind of annoying because I feel like the system's a little messed up because I have struggled from anxiety. Like I've always struggled from anxiety for a couple of years. And I take anxiety medication and just like the common medication that several other people take, and that's essentially a disqualification. Being on anxiety medication. I remember I was like, people were like, you just got to talk to the right recruiter. I don't know. And I would talk to other people and they would be like, you sound like, honestly, you would be the, an ideal person to be in the military, but like you are on anxiety medication. You have to be completely clean. And I'm like, that's kind of unfortunate because like, you can go to the military and then they can like essentially prescribe it to you, but all in all, my cousin's in it. We're all really proud of him. And who knows, maybe in the future I will do it. We'll see.
That's awesome. It's interesting to me about the anxiety piece. Like sometimes I wonder that people that are anxious, I feel like it's usually people that are like perfectionists, right? Like, or people that are, like you said, you're 110%, like you'll give everything your all. And it sounds like that might be one of the reasons why, like, you might be a little more, and I'm speaking this for myself too. I have never been diagnosed with anxiety or anything like that, but like, I feel like I am a neurotic, anxious person all the time because I want things to go a specific way, or I want it, like, if it's not going 100% perfect the way I thought it would go, like, it bothers me. So I'm wondering if that is even
for sure, like,
part of it. You'd probably be amazing candidate for them, right?
No, honestly, like, I felt like I'm like, dude, if anyone could do it, it could be me. Like, I don't know why I can't do it. But anyways, but yeah, I feel like that does kind of play with the anxiety. I think it's annoying because the word anxiety gets thrown around too loosely here in days. And it's like, people actually struggle with this, you know what I mean? And people actually, are prescribed stuff. So people are just using it too loosely nowadays. But like, again, everyone deals with it differently. Sometimes it's like an overwhelming feeling. Sometimes it's like, you have different symptoms and stuff, but that's just something I have always had to deal with. And I still deal with it day to day. And that has also, helped me, be the person I am today, overcome that anxiety aspect of things. So
that's awesome. Okay. Is there anything on the horizon for you personally, professionally, or maybe like a goal that you would want to work towards? I mean, once you're all healed up, like moving forward, is there anything that you would like to speak about today?
I feel like I have so many goals. I want to do so many things. But obviously the main one, it's like, I want to be stronger, like come back stronger, than I was, like, prior to ACL surgery. So, I definitely want to compete. People are like, Sam, how many times are you going to get hurt until it's going to take you to quit, jiu-jitsu? I'm like, I mean, I'm going to still do it. Like I'm going to still do it. I just always come back stronger. So, and you know, so, I definitely want to compete. And yeah, hopefully like we want to do, you know, with the business, we want to try other things, maybe not just alcohol related. Right. Like we've also talked about, you know, coffee, you know, because Jay and I are very big coffee lovers. So maybe we can dabble a little bit in that. But my one and only priority, like, you know, big goal is just recovering, you know, through this ACL reconstruction surgery. You know, that's just like, that's big to me. You know, I treat physical therapy seriously and, you know, the lifting and all that. So yeah, I can't wait to come back 110%.
Right. And just to kind of go back to that jiu-jitsu piece, I know for a bit you were kind of helping with the kids classes at CJJ. And then that kind of subsided because of the injury. But I know there's so much to be learned from just teaching something to someone else. Like as a teacher, you gain a lot of insight and you learn a lot yourself from doing that. So even if like in the recovery process, if you're teaching others how to do jiu-jitsu, like I'm sure that would just lend itself so nicely to your game.
No,
right?
For sure. Like I love the kids, like teaching the kids. Even like before I was teaching at Triumph, I was actually teaching at Charlotte. I was teaching at Triumph too, like helping out with the kids there. And then, you know, I worked in a preschool and nannied for a while. So like, I love kids, you know, kids are great. You know, they're even better when they're not yours because you can give it away whenever you're over the kids. But yeah, I love kids. And definitely teaching them has like, you know, definitely helped me with jiu-jitsu too. Cause it's like, okay, how many times are you going to have to like dumb it, you know, flower sweep down, you know what I mean? Like, so it was a lot of fun, and hopefully in the future, you know, I can play around with it, you know, and get involved with the kids again. But we'll see where life takes me.
But that's cool too, though, because when you're teaching a move and you do have to dumb it down, it's like you're learning it in and out, like all those tiny nuances that come with every single move. And it's like just the slightest thing being off, whether it's a hand or an arm or a leg, or like you realize, oh, this doesn't work if I don't have it perfectly mapped out the way it's supposed to go. So I do think like teaching a move is definitely going to help your jiu-jitsu game no matter what.
For
sure. So I think that'll lend itself to the recovery piece too. Awesome. Okay. Well, it looks like we're kind of near the end. We've kind of hit a lot of questions. Is there anything you wanted to add today that maybe we didn't get to, or
I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. We talked about a lot.
We did.
We rambled a good bit.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. If you can't think of anything, then that's all I got. Tune in next time for round 2.
I can't wait. And as I see like updates and some of the guests like lives or on their like Instagrams or socials, I usually try to like do a shout out, because I think it's so important to recognize like the good that you're doing in your life and how you're affecting other people. And, you know, when I first started at jiu-jitsu, I'm not going to lie, between Mia, you, Ashley, Stephanie, Brittany, I was like, and Brooklyn at the time, but she was a little younger, but like, it was overwhelming. I was like, these girls are so tough. And like, you all kicked my butt, but I learned a lot from all of you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely overwhelming, but you know, if being around a good group of girls, that helps. Yeah, you know, that helps a lot. So,
and cheering each other on.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, well, awesome. Well, thanks, Sam. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off then. And thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you.
So, as we sign off today, I would like to invite you to support us with some fresh gear. Our Gunz and Bunz merch is available at gunzandrolls.com. We have everything from rash guards, t-shirts, hats, bags, stickers, and more. We have something for everyone. You can check it out at gunzandrolls.com and use promo code BUNZ15 to get 15% off. We thank you so much for your support. So before you go, if you've enjoyed this episode of Gunz and Bunz, we'd love for you to share it with someone you know who could use a little inspiration. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Gunz and Rollz channel so you never miss a new Gunz and Bunz episode. Thanks for being a part of the community. We appreciate you. Bye.
Welcome to Gunz and Bunz. Strong feelings unstoppable. Let's roll. Welcome to Gunz and Bunz.
Just got out of jiu-jitsu, but I had to throw this on. I love my new kit that came from gunzandrolls.com. It's got the Triumph gear on it. It's got the Pedigo representation on it. Gunz Bunz Podcast. I got Gunz Bunz Podcast on the sleeve. I even have some insignia on the back. Gunzandrolls.com. Gunz Bunz Podcast. Triumph and Pedigo. I love it. Ignore my jiu-jitsu hair. But anyway, it's so cute. It's now on gunzandrolls.com. It's even got these cute shorts underneath, right? So it doesn't ride up. So I love it. I hope you guys do too. These are so comfy. They fit perfectly compared to the other ones that I had that were a little longer. So I hope you check it out. I hope you guys love it. And go to gunzandrolls.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Gunz and Rollz.